Chapter 17, Lesson 2, the Immune System. Functions of the immune system. Your body is constantly exposed to different pathogens. In Lesson 1, you read that disease-causing agents such as bacteria and viruses are pathogens. Pathogens also include fungi and protists. Pathogens are in the air, on objects, and in water. Like a spacesuit protects an astronaut, your immune system works to protect your body. There are many barriers to keep pathogens from entering your body. Sometimes pathogens get past your body's initial barriers. When this happens, your immune system also has defenses to stop any pathogens that get past the barriers. For example, there are cells in your body that can destroy the pathogens. The immune system interacts with other body systems and helps keep you healthy even as the environment outside your body changes. You can improve the effectiveness of these prevention methods by taking healthful choices every day. Choices such as eating healthful foods, getting enough sleep, exercising regularly, and using sunscreen to support your immune system. As you read about the parts of the immune system, consider how the choices you make every day could affect how well your immune system functions. Parts of the immune system. Different parts of your body work together to keep pathogens from making you sick. The integumentary system, which is your skin, the respiratory system, the circulatory system, the digestive system, and the nervous system all work together with the immune system and protect you against disease. First line of defenses. Keeping germs from reaching the parts of your body where they can make you sick is the function of the first line of defenses. Skin, hair, mucus, and acids are first-line defenses. They are effective against many types of pathogens. As immune defense that protects against more than one type of pathogen is a non-specific defense. The skin. Often, the first non-specific defense that protects you from pathogens is your skin, as shown in Figure 7. Your skin keeps dirt and germs from entering your body. Sweat and acids from skin cells kill some bacteria. Natural oils make skin waterproof so you can easily wash it. You encounter pathogens every day, but your skin stops most of them from entering your body. Pathogens such as cold and flu viruses can survive for short periods on objects such as doorknobs or telephones. When you touch these objects, the pathogens can be transferred to your hand. If they reach your mouth, nose, eyes, or a cut, they can enter your skin. Washing your hands more often with soap and water easily removes most pathogens from your skin. Your skin protects you from other dangers. It forms a chemical called melanin that protects you from the sun's ultraviolet UV rays. Nerve endings in your skin can help you sense the warmth of a stove or the sharpness of a pin to protect you from injury. Respiratory system. You can inhale pathogens from the air through your nose or mouth. The hairs in your nose help protect you by trapping dirt and pathogens. This keeps them from reaching the rest of your respiratory system. Small hair-like structures called cilia, shown in Figure 7, also trap pathogens and move them up and out of the upper respiratory system. If pathogens get past the cilia, they might encounter mucus. Mucus traps pathogens and enables your respiratory system to remove them by coughing, sneezing, or swallowing. Digestive system. Pathogens can enter your digestive system on or in the food you eat. The digestive system is effective at stopping bacteria from making you seriously ill. The stomach, also shown in Figure 7, contains strong acid. Stomach acids can destroy many pathogens like the mucus in the respiratory system. Mucus in the digestive system traps disease-causing bacteria and viruses too. Sometimes when you feel nauseated, it's actually your immune system clearing your body of pathogens. When disease-causing bacteria are not destroyed by stomach acids, your digestive system can reverse the usual direction of mucus contraction and you vomit. Other times, muscle contractions speed up and pathogens are removed through diarrhea. Let's take a closer look at Figure 7. We're talking about the blood vessels, the cilia, the white blood cells, the skin, and the stomach which are all a part of the immune response. The skin, the respiratory system, the digestive system, and the circulatory system are all supporting the immune system to provide the first line of protection against disease-causing pathogens. Blood vessels, right here, and white blood cells throughout the body help protect from pathogens. Circulatory system and nervous system. Your circulatory system also protects you from pathogens. Pathogens can be moved through the circulatory system to organs that fight infection. The nervous system and the circulatory system also work together and increase the body's temperature to fight pathogens more effectively. Certain foreign substances trigger the brain to increase body temperature. When this occurs, blood vessels narrow and a fever develops. Many pathogens cannot survive at this higher temperature. For those that do survive, the fever brings another line of defense. The fever also stimulates white blood cells, which are part of the second line of defense against pathogens. Second line defenses. Sometimes pathogens get past the defenses of the skin, the respiratory system, the digestive system, and the circulatory system. When they do, the next line of defense goes into action. Like the first line of defense, second line defenses are nonspecific, fighting against any type of pathogen. White blood cells. Recall that spongy tissue in the center of your bones is called bone marrow. This is where white blood cells form. These cells attack pathogens. White blood cells flow through the circulatory system. However, they do most of their work attacking pathogens in the fluid outside the blood vessels. They fight infections several different ways. Some white blood cells, such as the one shown in Figure 8, can surround and destroy bacteria directly. Others release chemicals that make it easier to kill pathogens. Another type of white blood cell produces proteins that destroy viruses and other foreign substances that get past the first line defense. The inflammatory response occurs in several different steps. Step 1, when the skin is torn or cut, the damaged tissue triggers the inflammatory response. Special cells called mast cells release chemical signals, shown right here, into the surrounding tissue. Step 2, some chemical signals attract more white blood cells to the area. Other chemical signals cause the capillaries to dilate. When white blood cells and plasma leak into the tissue, causing swelling to occur. Notice the area is now raised. Step 3, the white blood cells surround and take in the bacteria and any dead cells. As the tissue heals, the white blood cells and the plasma flow back into the capillaries and swelling decreases. The area then returns to normal. Inflammatory response. When you have an injury, your body produces an inflammatory response called inflammation. Inflammation is a process that causes the area to become red and swollen. If the injury is to the surface of the skin, you can observe the inflammatory response as shown in Figure 9, which we just described. First, damaged cells release a protein that signals the capillaries to dilate or to widen. Blood flows to the area, increases, and the injury site becomes red and warmer than the surrounding area. Second, plasma and white blood cells leak into the area, causing swelling. Third, the white blood cells break down damaged cells and destroy any bacteria that might have entered the wound. The inflammatory response cleans the area of the injury and keeps the infection from spreading. The inflammation enables the damaged cell to heal. Word origin, inflammation, from the Latin inflammare, which means to set on fire. Line defenses. In first and second line defenses do not destroy all invading pathogens. Another type of immune response occurs. Third line defenses are specific to foreign substances. Often the three lines of defense work together. Antigens and antibodies. An antigen is a substance that causes an immune response. An antigen can be on the surface of the pathogen. Proteins called antibodies can attach to the antigen and make it useless. Certain white blood cells called B cells and T cells form antibodies. B cells form and mature into the bone marrow and secrete antibodies into the cells. T cells form in the bone marrow and mature in the thymus gland. They produce a protein antibody that becomes part of a cell membrane. Antibodies match with specific antigens as shown in Figure 10. Once your body has developed antibodies to an antigen, it can respond rapidly when the same pathogen invades your body again. This information is stored in antibodies on white blood cells called memory B cells. An allergy is an overly sensitive immune response to common antigens. Most people do not produce antibodies to the protein in dog saliva. However, the antigen in dog saliva do cause some people to have an immune response. These people have an allergy. Their bodies treat the dog saliva as if it were a pathogen. Inflammation and increased mucus production are common immune responses for people with allergies. Figure 10. Antibodies produced as a result of specific immune responses to particular antigens, on a pathogen. So here is a B cell. The B cell responds to an antigen by producing antibodies. Step 2. Antibodies, they attach to an antigen. Step 3. Antibodies, right here, make it easier for a macrophage, a type of white blood cell, to find and to destroy a pathogen. This diagram right here is the macrophage. Immunity. The resistance to specific pathogens is immunity. There are two types of immunity, active and passive immunity. Active immunity, your body produces antibodies in response to an antigen in active immunity. Your body recognizes the antigen and the matching antibodies respond quickly. You can develop active immunity through illness or infection. After an illness or an infection is over, antibodies remain in your body. Because of this, you will usually get certain diseases such as chickenpox only once. However, you can catch a cold many times because many different cold viruses cause similar symptoms. You can also develop antibodies if you are exposed to an antigen through a vaccination. A vaccination is a weakened or dead pathogen placed in the body, usually by injection or by mouth. A vaccination causes the body to develop specific antibodies that can rapidly fight a pathogen's antigen when exposed to them. Table 1 lists the effects of vaccinations on the average annual number of cases of some diseases. Passive immunity. You can also become resistant to specific antigens through passive immunity. Passive immunity is the introduction of antibodies that were produced outside of the body. A fetus can get antibodies from its mother. Injections of some antibodies are available for adults. Passive immunity is temporary, and the body does not continue to make these antigens. The immune system and homeostasis. You are exposed to many different pathogens every day. The immune system works to maintain your body's homeostasis. Body systems, including the circulatory system and respiratory system, work together and protect against invaders. Down below, you can see Table 1, the effects of vaccination. Here are the diseases: tetanus, polio, measles, mumps, rubella. The number of cases before the vaccine, and this is the annual average in the US. So tetanus is about 1,300, but we have measles, 425,000. Next, we have the year the vaccination was developed. So some as early as the 1927s with tetanus. Others were a little bit more recent to the 1970s with rubella. And then lastly, this is the cases after the vaccination. 34 to a mere 8 for polio, and then up to 610 for mumps. Lastly, on page 619, this might be a good piece of information. This is the victory over chickenpox, and it discusses how vaccines are helping win the war against specific type of viruses and the importance of it. It states, until recently, having chickenpox was just a part of growing up. The disease commonly occurred in children before the age of 15. Chickenpox is highly contagious, passing from person to person, and it's due to the varicella zoster virus. It produces a rash of red spots and small blisters that can appear all over the body. It's usually contagious and takes place 1 to 2 days before the rash appears until all of the blisters form into scabs. However, in 1995, a vaccine was introduced in the US, and the number of cases of chickenpox reported each year has declined sharply. It is estimated that almost 80% of young children develop immunity after 1 dose of the vaccine. Over 90% of older children and adults also develop immunity after the 2nd dose. So take your time reading this and enjoy this article if you are interested. This concludes our reading.